Denver police investigators are asking for your help finding a man suspected of killing 2 people along the South Platte bike trail. Police think both victims were homeless. Now, as reporter Brianna Fernandez is live in Denver. And Brianna, police believe the shootings are related, but they won't say why.
Yeah, good morning, Corey. So all police are saying right now is that they believe that the victims were homeless. Now, they're saying that these shootings did not happen near or at an encampment. What I can tell you and what is confirmed from the Denver Police Department is that both these shootings happened right near the South Platte River, right around the same time. So last Wednesday, a woman was shot and killed under I-70. This happened near 45th Avenue and Washington Street and happened just before 12:30. Now, 3 days later, on Saturday, a man was found shot near West Florida Avenue and South Platte River Drive just after midnight. While police say the cases are connected and there's no reason for the public to be concerned, some people who use this popular trail aren't convinced.
I live just down right over there, so probably, I don't know, probably 3 to 4 times a week, I would say. Definitely doesn't make me feel great hearing that sort of information. It always felt pretty safe, but I mean, hearing something like that makes you question it for sure.
Denver police have added extra patrols. Now, if you have any information about these 2 shootings, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. We've posted that number right on the bottom of your screen. You can remain anonymous and you're eligible as well for a reward. Back to you guys.
Yeah, definitely stay alert if you're going to be out on that bike path for sure. Brianna, thank you.
Right now, police in Boulder are trying to figure out whether a driver accused of hitting 2 teenagers is responsible for another crash just hours earlier. Police say around 12:30 on Saturday morning, Jordan Hemstreet made a U-turn on Broadway near Regent, just south of CU's campus. He then jumped the curb and hit 2 people walking on the sidewalk. An 18-year-old woman and a 19-year-old man ended up in the hospital. They were seriously hurt. Now investigators are looking into whether Hemstreet is also responsible for hitting a bunch of parked cars near 15th and Cascade just about 2 hours earlier. Hemstreet is already facing charges for DUI, reckless driving, vehicular assault, and driving with a suspended license.
It's 6:03 right now, and new overnight, North Korean leader Kim Jongun has arrived in Russia to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two of them are likely going to talk about weapons and an arms deal between the 2 countries. Kim may also ask Putin for food and energy sources. A Russian leader says that meeting could happen as soon as tomorrow.
This morning, rescue crews in Morocco are working to find any survivors 3 days after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit there. So far, 2,800 people are confirmed to have died. Another 2,500 are hurt, and there is not an estimate just yet on how many people might be missing. Search and rescue crews are having a pretty hard time because so many roads are blocked or damaged. The buildings in this area are historic, made of stone and masonry. They weren't built to hold up in disasters like earthquakes. So far, Morocco has only accepted help from 4 countries, and some organizations are also sending aid, like the Red Cross, World Central Kitchen, and Doctors Without Borders.
Right now, Kilauea is erupting in Hawaii, spewing lava into the air. The gases will cause the volcanic smog in the area, so people who live nearby are being told to stay inside. But other than that, there's no major threat from this eruption. Mount Kilauea also erupted in June for a few weeks, and no damage was reported back then.
Several states across New England are dealing with serious flooding this morning. This is what it looks like in Providence, Rhode Island. Roads, stores, and houses are totally underwater. One person said she had 26 inches of water in her basement. Crews have rescued at least 25 people, but so far no injuries have been reported. It's a similar situation in Massachusetts, where they got 2.5 inches of rain in just 1 hour. People got stuck in their cars on roads. This morning, there's a state of emergency in Leominster, about an hour outside of Boston, as that cleanup begins.
Big weather disasters like these have been all too common recently. In fact, the U.S. just set a record for the number of billion-dollar disasters in 1 year. NOAA counts 23 extreme weather events that have cost at least $1 billion, from the deadly wildfires in Maui and flooding from Hurricane Idalia. In total, it adds up to more than $57 billion and more than 250 deaths. Scientists say human-caused climate change is fueling these more intense disasters, and cutting planet-warming emissions could reverse the trend. The impact from the 2013 floods is hard to fathom. Thousands of families had to evacuate.
Yeah, some people returned to find their homes were no longer there. The numbers help put into perspective one of the state's worst natural disasters.
The flooding started with a few days of steady rain, but grew into something much worse. On September 11th, storms unleashed heavy rain that fell for hours.
This is one of those storms that just kind of came together in a way that, very rapidly just came and and kept dumping what?
6 to 18 inches fell along parts of the Front Range, almost as much as typically falls in Boulder each year. By the time the storms cleared out, flooding covered 4,500 square miles, roughly equal to the size of 11 Rocky Mountain National Parks. It stretched from the mountains to farms on the eastern plains. 9 people died.
The Big Thompson is raging out of its banks tonight. Stay away from any kind of creek, river, or tributary.
As creeks and streams turned into rivers, water poured into homes, schools, and businesses. The flooding caused $4 billion in damage. 19,000 people had to leave home. More than 3,000 were rescued, some thanks to the heroics of the National Guard, who airlifted people to safety. The floods destroyed more than 2,000 homes and damaged another 26,000. Debris from mudslides and rushing rivers washed away roads and bridges. It cut off some towns like Jamestown, Estes Park, and Lyons. CDOT says it had to repair 486 miles of roads. Flooding and mudslides damaged 200 bridges and culverts.
There are thresholds for public assistance in large disasters. How many roads you've lost, how many bridges you've lost, and how many public structures you've lost, and we have apparently hit that threshold.
Repairing the roads took years. CDOT finished the final project in November 2022 when they reopened Highway 7 connecting Lyons and Raymond. It cost CDOT $750 million for permanent and emergency repairs.
CDOT says it removed 150,000 cubic yards of debris. That's enough to fill 46 Olympic swimming pools, or you could cover a football field with debris 75 feet high.
Yeah, the floods touched so many communities across Colorado, and we will have coverage all morning long right here on 9 News Mornings at 6:30. And new waste scientists are starting to forecast floods like these to help keep people safe.
All right, we're making our way toward a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Sunny skies, mild conditions, highs near 77 degrees in Denver. This morning, though, we do have some patchy, dense fog, especially across central portions of the Plains and Front Range.
Lauren, thank you so much. Right now, we want to show you what the graphics look like this morning. Whole lot of green on our map for the most part, so I want to give you a quick heads up if you're going to be taking RTD today, especially the A line. Right now, it's running on up to a 10-minute delay because of a mechanical problem.